Hello people, I want to start this video off by saying thank you for watching. I was surprised to actually get more than 2 views. But yeah, I made this video for you guys because some of you wanted some more information. So this is basically a Q&A. Let's get into it. Thanks for the video, gave me a reality check that I sure hope I remember in my drunken state while visiting Japan with some friends. Well, I think in most cases you'll be okay. There's lots of drunk foreigners everywhere there, and I don't think they all spent time in jail, you know? Good video, man. Did almost 2 years in prison in the US. Sounds about the same in most ways. Would love to hear more stories about it if you have any more to tell. Damn. Do I have any more stories? I'm thinking. I think the only story I have off the top of my dome that I didn't tell, there may be more, but one of the things that I didn't tell in the video was when I just came into the cell the first time and I talked with the old man. He was explaining the rules to me, but one of the things that he said directly, and I think the prison guard said it before, was don't jack off. They said masturbating is illegal or against the rules at least, and he repeated that when I went to the toilet once, and I was like, I'm too stressed to even think about anything like that. But, oh, someone else said I was in the worst part of Los Angeles County Jail, believe it was more dangerous. Definitely was dangerous. In Japan, I guess I didn't feel that dangerous. They were dangerous people, but they were really nice. So make more content like this grounded in reality in Japan. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna make a lot of Japan content. Really, the next video was basically about a game that I found now years ago, which was called Fatum Bachula, which is very interesting. I don't think a lot of people know about this game. It's pretty underground, but it's one of the best horror games that I've ever played, and it more so plays with your mind, you know? So the story begins with us getting a letter from the government that we were getting COVID money. It's maybe like $800 or something. Of course, we're not gonna say no to the money. You know, we're basically hobos living in a dorm off of our last money, you know? To receive that money, we needed a Japanese bank. So there our story begins. Trying to make a Japanese bank. We go outside and we try to find out where a bank is. We find a big bank, I forgot the name, but we went to the bank in Tokyo. Eventually we go to their main bank and we go inside. Immediately staff member comes up to us. He's like, why are you here and everything, kind of confused. So we're like, okay, we're here because we're trying to make a bank account. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, in Japan, a bank account, you make that in a post office. And we're confused, we're like, what? He gives us a map and then basically shows a post office where we need to go. So we go to the post office, we go inside the post office, and then the lady is immediately like, what are these foreigners doing here, you know? So we're talking to her in Japanese. We're explaining to her like, okay, we're supposed to get this money, but we need a Japanese bank and also for our banking in Japan and everything. Kind of confused looking at us, and she's like, ayashi ne? Which means like, it's kind of like strange. And we're like, strange that we're making a bank account? But what do you mean? And so we're talking with each other. We're like, what is this, you know? And then the Vietnamese friend of mine that was also with me when I went to the school that didn't go in. So we asked him, you know, he speaks better Japanese than us. Can you just sort of let her explain the whole story? And basically she doesn't explain what she finds strange. The only sort of explanation she gives is like, she's like, oh, this post office is kind of far away from where you guys live. Which we already explained to her because we showed her the paper that the central bank office gave us and showed the exact location where we should go to get the bank. So she just didn't want to help us. And then basically after we were explaining, we're like, why can we not make it? Immediately she was like, okay, well, there's an option. If you try to make a bank, there is a chance that the police will come and they will arrest you. And you know, we've already been through this, so we look at each other and we're like, okay. So I asked the guy, like, can you ask her once more? I'm not gonna, you know, make a scene, especially in Japan and especially after being arrested. I don't want to do that again. So yeah, we just ask her like, why? And she's just like, yeah, well, if you try to make a bank account, we're gonna get you arrested. And we're like, okay, I guess we should just fuck off, you know? We should just leave. So, yeah, I guess that was our cue to leave. So that was one of the really weird stories. I don't know. Eventually, it was really difficult. We made a bank account at a different bank, but the only reason was she loved that I was Dutch, you know, because she loved the Netherlands somehow. And she was the only one at that bank willing to help us, or at post office, I guess. So yeah, that I have more stories like that, but that's a weird one where I was like, what the fuck, you know? Quick explanation for the attire change and the lighting change. I just had to go to the gym real quick, so let's continue. Phantom Madman says going into abandoned schools is done so much in movies and anime you wouldn't think there are dire consequences attached to it. Yeah, I guess it's Japan takes it more serious than I expected, evidently. Freedom after that must taste that much better. Yeah, it did. I mean, you know, over time you get used to it, but right when I got out, still sometimes, you know, the fact that you're free and you're able to do anything that you want just feels good, you know. Retrospector, did they let your friend go too, or was he kept longer? My friend was out, I think, before me, because as soon as I got out, I looked at my phone, got a whole bunch of messages from different people, from everyone in the dorm. When I looked at the messages, I saw a message of my friend, the American friend, and it was just like, you know, are you out as well, or something like that, are you out too? LMF Fast 20. Sorry to hear about the story. Be careful getting drunk though. Foreigner showed up at my place, work, once begging for help. He had no idea where he was, spoke no Japanese. All his devices were dead. He evidently got drunk, wandered around until he passed out and had zero idea where he was. Yeah, I mean, that's not a good idea anywhere, which I found out and didn't do anymore. Kino Pico 01. I was almost arrested in Japan due to the fact that a restaurant in Japan did not accept my Google Pay card as payment. When the manager told me that if there are no other methods to process my payment, they will involve the police in the situation. I was panicking due to the fact that I knew that I would be immediately arrested because I thought Japanese officers will not hear my case. But fortunately, I had a physical Master credit card that saved me from the trouble. After the payment worked, I immediately left the restaurant and never looked back. My advice on my situation is to get some Japanese yen, maybe around 10,000 yen if you want to eat some really expensive places. Remember that there are businesses that do not accept international credit cards like MasterCard, JP Morgan, ASBC, etc. Yeah, I mean, in Japan, you always should take cash because a lot of places, they don't accept credit card. People just use cash in general in Japan, so you always carry cash on you. And about your experience, I mean, yeah, it's horrible. I'm sorry you had to, you know, experience that, but I think in Japan, unfortunately, it's pretty common that if you're a foreigner, get discriminated like this. I mean, I wouldn't expect this to happen to a Japanese person, but I don't know. I mean, Japanese people, they know how their system works. They come prepared, you know, they always take cash. But yeah, I mean, this goes back to the experience that I had in the bank, and I know other experiences. For example, one time after school was done, we were with a group of foreigners, and we were just trying to get some food, you know, so all exchange students. And I remember, so this is in Shinjuku, you know, so it's supposed to be an area where a lot of foreigners are at, you know. I remember first place we went to, we go in, the place looked pretty empty. As soon as we go to the door, the owner goes to the door and just does this. And he kind of, you know, doesn't let us go in, even to the door, you know. Walk out, we go to a different place. They tell us it's full, even though we can see that it's not full, you know. Sort of that experience happens like 4 times, I think, where they either do this or they tell us it's full, you know. Then one place we see a guy that's in front. So sometimes you'll have these Japanese places that is like basically under, like below. You cannot see the store. If you directly look at it, you cannot see the store. It's either like you have to go down some stairs or go up some stairs, at least in Tokyo. So there's a guy in front that's like getting people into the restaurant and everything. So he's standing there and we're just trying to go find a restaurant. We see that place, we try to go down. He stops us and he's like, it's full. So we're like, okay, because this is like, I don't know, the 4th or 5th time that we're denied. So we're like, okay, can we at least see the place, you know? And he's like, and as soon as he realizes that we want to go down the stairs to at least look at the restaurant, right, which he cannot stop, right? He doesn't have a motive to stop us. And so he immediately takes his phone, and you can see that the phone is like off.
What the hell, what?
Nobody's calling. He's like immediately, oh, hi. Yeah, there is place. And we go in, and like the half of the restaurant or more is empty. So yeah, and there were no foreigners there as well. We were the only ones. So yeah, I guess, you know, in Japan that kind of stuff happens a lot. So does this incident make you hard to enter Japan again? I don't think so. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. We'll see as soon as I go back to Japan. They're certainly going to use that video of the fake apology of the Yakuza member against him in Japan. contrition is everything. Well, as far as I know, right now they're just using everything against him and getting him arrested a bunch of times. So what's good? 2800. Shouldn't the looking up your asshole part be the highest amount of how serious the situation was? Like I said in the comment, that's an average day right there. This was a quick Q&A video. Like I said, there's more videos coming, but about different topics probably. If there's more Japan related stuff that you want to know or stories, I mean, just give me an idea in the comments. I'll look at it. If I find it interesting or if I can make a video about it, I'll do it. In this case, this is just a quick update. Since some people subscribed, I'm super thankful for the people that subscribed. I'm thankful for, I mean, even having more than one view, you know? So I just wanted to make this video for the people that were interested. And yeah, just as a quick thing, you know, I don't want to be a Japan focused channel. It's going to be different things. I just wanted to, you know, sort of express myself. I have a bunch of different things. I want to make videos about certain interesting games that you don't know about, like the one I explained earlier, Fada Majula, the horror game. I want to make a documentary type video with a very special guy that actually sells Nazi memorabilia, which is against the rules here. So he's still trying to sell the products, which is interesting for me. So that's who I want to interview eventually, you know, do a bunch of interesting things. And sort of, I think the most consistent thing that you can expect is the type of editing and of course my personality and, you know, the way that I express things. But I mean, I want to change with you guys, and I want your guys' feedback. So if there's anything that you think I can do better, anything that you want to see, I mean, for example, this Q&A video is more so because people have questions, so I want to make it. I mean, I'm super grateful. Right now I'm almost at 2,000 views on the video, already at 31 subscribers after one video, so I'm, yeah, just incredibly thankful. I mean, you edit the video, you're not really, you know, you're working by yourself, especially for me because it's the first video that I made right on this channel. You're sort of editing the video, making it, and at the time that you're making, you of course don't know about the perception, you don't know what people are gonna think of it, you know. But I'm just happy about you know, the comments and the way you guys responded. So thank you. Have a good day. Good luck with everything that you're doing, and wish you the best. Bye bye.